Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Mike, and welcome back to another Black Ops 6 Zombies video, where today, firstly, I just want to clarify what's going on with the title and how it might seem a little rage baity, clickbaity, and whatnot. This is just kind of a bit of a reactionary response from me about some of the recent news coming from Call of Duty, and that the upcoming Citadelle Des Morts map is releasing, or rather re-releasing, a classic perk, Vulture Aid. And I am super, super excited for this perk. I love that it's coming back. I think it is going to do wonders for this mode. But I can understand some of the complaints that could come out of the certain types of players that are a little bit more involved with the zombies mode and thinking that something like the point system and the way that ammo is so expensive and that you're always running out of points, Vulture Aid effectively is just a sort of, I guess, kind of forced way into remedying a problem that Treyarch created, which you could say that's a lot of things that are coming of the sort of gameplay design decisions that Treyarch have made in modern zombies. But I personally am of the opinion that a lot of what the new age of zombies is coming to now, and a lot of the systems that are working in tandem with each other, it's just an entirely different skill set that players need to get accustomed to compared to old zombies. And once you are good at it, the game is just as easy as the classic games ever have been. If you're new to the channel, or if you don't know anything about me, I have been playing Call of Duty Zombies for well over a decade. On technicality, I started in World at War, but I really started playing zombies, like actually getting in and playing zombies during Black Ops 2 in late 2012 and all throughout 2013. I have been playing the mode religiously since then as one of my favorite video games of all time. I was there for all of Black Ops 3, and I fell off a little bit during Black Ops 4 just because I felt like the fundamental changes that that game did were actually bad, like legitimately bad. And to refrain from kind of talking extensively about Black Ops 4's issues and what I had with it, because I know there are people that do like Black Ops 4. Um, Me personally, I just wasn't a fan mainly of the perk system and the way that the points worked in that game, because changing up the point system was so new at the time. I was also very against it. It was percentage based, as opposed to kill based now and hit based in the past. On top of the fact that at the time I just wasn't really fully enthralled with the Chaos story, and which is crazy to say now, that because the Dark Ether story is kind of bringing back a lot of the Chaos stuff in there as well. But to get back on track with what I want to just kind of, I guess, prove a point in this video, um, with the way that modern zombies is going and how the point system works, salvage works, and overall in-game progression. I know that there have been some complaints even since as far back as Cold War, when that game first initially launched, that the point system and always having to upgrade your pack-a-punch level for such an expensive price of 50,000 points in total is a little excessive. And I can totally understand where that's coming from, because if you want to get 2 weapons fully upgraded, that effectively is 100,000 points that you have to spend in a single game, and that's excluding any other purchases that you're making, from buying doors to buying perks to now in Black Ops 6 upgrading your armor. And it's a valid complaint, but I just want to, I guess, kind of share my experience and the way that I play zombies. And to do that, I have a full, largely uncut game of me playing a typical zombies match. This is just me playing zombies on a normal day. I realized that I had a pretty good game. I was happy with it, and I decided to just go back and shadow play it, to show you guys how a typical zombies game for me goes. Um, and I do pretty much everything that I can do to just play the game normally. I mean, I didn't do anything that I consider like super out there or excessive in terms of trying to exploit points or anything. The real exploitation comes from when Tesla Storm comes back into the game, because that was also confirmed for Season 1 Reloaded. Back in Cold War, I used Tesla Storm so hard to exploit points. to the point where on D Machine in particular, I could leave the spawn room at the end of round 10 with about 35,000 points. Now, because I don't do like kind of spawn strategies like that in Black Ops 6 yet, I haven't been able to test if that's even possible. It could be with Tesla Storm coming back, but as of right now, with how the game is currently standing, before Citadelle Des Morts comes out, in the event that this video ends up going out after, um, I'm able to play the game pretty much like somewhat casually and kind of still similar to the way that old Zombies games worked. I'm able to hit the box a couple times, get the weapons that I want, starting to use the gobblegums on occasion because I haven't really been using those ever since I've been trying to not only finish the camo grind, but also do all of the challenges for all the calling cards and dark ops and everything. And now that like I'm able to just kind of sit back and play zombies matches the way I want to a couple times a day before I go to do pretty much anything else. Um, I genuinely don't think that the points are an issue. Really, it's a little weird because it's such a common complaint and has been since Cold War that the way that modern zombies has gone is just making it so hard for players to kind of keep up with the power curve. And I genuinely don't want to sound rude when I say this, but it's really the only way that I can describe it is that if you are having trouble with the point system and keeping up with everything, I kind of see it more as a skill issue than anything. Um, I know that that kind of is like just very like not it's not like a kind of polite way to put it or really just kind of a serious way for you guys to take it when I say that at all, but if you do take the time to kind of sit through and watch the video, I think I'll also have a few of the round milestones kind of outlined on the scrub bar below, just so you can click through to just see how far I get throughout different points in my game. But I am largely spending pretty much every form of currency that I can get my hands on, and by the end of the game, you'll see that I do have all of the perks on the map. Both of my weapons are triple pack-a-punched, and I also have a double pack-a-punch melee weapon, which, granted, I did get from a SAM trial, but that's another thing that I think players do need to take advantage of in Black Ops 6 in particular, is to utilize all of the things that are at your disposal in order to get ahead of the power curve. It is obviously a lot harder if you're not utilizing those things. Some players may or may not use the side Easter eggs. Those are like something that I think less amounts of players take advantage of. But at the bare minimum, I always say to take advantage of the SAM trials because you can get extra points and salvage from them. You have the opportunity to get free ammo mods, which is effectively a free ammo mod purchase if it's one that you want. You can get ether wrenches, which is also saving you on salvage. Pack-a-punch crystals are the rarest thing as far as I can tell from my experience, but those are also possible, which saves you points on pack-a-punching. And, overall, it's just a good investment. 500, 750, 1,000 points to activate the challenge. And you not only get points for killing zombies during the challenge, but you also get effectively the points that you invested into starting the challenge back as a reward on top of extra salvage. There's just so many ways for you to get extra currency, extra points, and extra salvage to do literally anything. Because I practically get the majority of the map open. I think the only door that I didn't open was the barrier between the bowling lanes and the church on the hilltop stairs, which that was 2,000 points, and I definitely had enough to open that if I ever needed to. But I didn't even do the bowling Easter egg here in Liberty Lanes. I didn't even do, anything really. I stopped hitting the vending machine, I think, on round 3 or 4. But, overall, it's just, it's a weird thing because even as far back as Cold War, I never had issues with points. I never felt like I was too weak to be killing zombies. And it's so weird because I think a lot of players take the path of least resistance and they just stick with their loadout weapon. That's the only weapon they bother upgrading. And then they're like, the game is boring. I'm always using the same gun. I'm always buying the same perks because everything is getting so expensive. And I think if you're a little bit more explorative with your gaming experience when it comes to zombies and attempting to hit the box a couple times, using your gobblegums on occasion, doing the SAM trial, spawning in with a different weapon even at the very least. I mean, you all saw that I spawned in with the USP. I actively handicap myself to be more akin to the old school zombie style of gameplay by still even spawning with a pistol. And while the complaints in the past for Cold War in particular were that the pistol, even if you spawned in with it, was also still pretty good. The 1911 Cold War was still pretty good. The USP and a lot of the common weapons, honestly, do fall off relatively quickly. By the time round 4 or 5 hits, you kind of already want a green upgrade. And I think Treyarch did a pretty good job at making the damage differentials between each rarity upgrade, as far as I can tell, pretty substantial. You know, even between purple and orange for epic and legendary rarities, I do notice a pretty substantial damage increase. And I don't play with the damage numbers, so I don't know what the actual difference is. But as far as feel, I think that that is pretty helpful. It's pretty substantial just to even get a weapon up to orange. So there's a whole lot of things that can be said and done about the overall currency economy when it comes to modern zombies as opposed to the past, because a lot of people point to the fact that, you know, the meta for a zombies match would shift round by round. You would start with a pistol and then try to get a solid weapon just so you can kill zombies. But then as you're going up into some of the higher rounds, as in like, round 7 to 10-ish, like after you spawn in, then you start wanting to get a weak SMG to just point farm as you spray into a horde. And then once round 15 or so hits, then you want to start focusing on getting a strong weapon that you can pack a punch to carry you up into the 30s. So that was kind of the entire sort of thing that you would do game to game in zombies, and it gave the mystery box a purpose. I understand that that is the case, and a lot of people will argue that nowadays, because of the loadout system and rarities and whatever, the mystery box doesn't really have a place. But even if it doesn't, I still like hitting it. I still like to use the box and change up my weapon every single match, or even my weapons, because like you'll see in this video, I can totally 100% just upgrade both of my guns that I have access to. And certain maps are going to have different ways to help the player get ahead of the power curve. For example, on Liberty Falls, you have, in my opinion, the easiest access to just free double points with the Falling Zombies Easter egg on the church tower, as well as the double points power up in the water tower. And with the extra points that fall, you can get what feels like so many extra points. On top of, if you do it at round 10 or after, you get a blue ether tool, which saves you so much salvage. That is so helpful. And then when it comes to Terminus, the Crab Island Easter egg is one that I'm starting to do every game without fail, because it is so helpful to not only get a free perk, not only to get extra salvage, not only to get a free gun, but because of also the extra points that drop as well. And if points are so scarce, why not take advantage of that? A counterpoint to that could be obviously that, players don't want to feel the need to do a side Easter egg every single match just to keep up. But, I think playing Whack-A-Crab is fun. I think seeing zombies fall from the sky is fun. I like to do it every game, and if it gets me extra stuff to utilize, why not do it? I still have fun doing that every single game. Um, it's such just a strange, like, kind of, I guess, dichotomy that I have with the greater zombies community as of right now. And I'm just here to kind of vocalize my opinion on the whole matter. If you have your own personal opinion on how the entire economy works when it comes to points and salvage, and if it's easy for you to stay ahead of the power curve, or if you always struggle in some ways, I do encourage like civil discussion and sharing your opinions in the comments below. I do want to see genuinely what other people are seeing and saying, because there's only so much that someone can glean from the larger zombies YouTubers, what their opinions are, looking in comment sections, looking at Twitter, or any other sort of online forums and discussion places where people can talk about this. And it's I don't know. It's just I struggle to really understand what the genuine problem is. And I think I can totally understand where it comes from that, Treyarch largely ended up making some more problems and they're developing systems to kind of answer those problems and fix them. For example, you could talk about how um, let's just start with the idea of the loadout system. Let's say Treyarch back in Black Ops Cold War wanted to like fully open the loadout system because in Black Ops 4 you could spawn in with not whatever weapon you want, but there was a larger selection as compared to just a pistol. And then Cold War just fully opened it up to every single weapon in the game. No matter what weapon you want, you can spawn in with it. Well, then how do you make it so that players who spawn in with an AR or LMG aren't just already set up from round one? Then that would have prompted the need for the rarity system to make it so that a spawn AR is not going to be the be all end all for everybody going forward in their rounds. They need some other way to just make their weapons stronger. So add a rarity system, and then to sort of make that also a little bit more in depth as opposed to just upgrading rarity, you could add extra pack-a-punch levels, and that's what ended up coming with 50,000 points to fully upgrade your weapon. Um, the perk system as well. I think it was a valid change for Treyarch to do, where the complete opposite of Black Ops 4, where you're only able to use 4 perks, and it's the 4 perks that you choose before the game starts. Now you can buy as many perks as you want, but the valid change that I think Treyarch was totally in the right for doing was just making every subsequent perk more expensive. As much as I do miss every perk having their own dedicated price point to further add to the personality of the perk itself, I do fully understand that, if you do want if the player themselves wants to become even more powerful by having up teen perks active on them at any given time, it should be a lot more of a point investment and be more punishing if you do end up going down. So I think that's a totally valid decision that Treyarch made on that front. But just overall, um, I keep on saying it, but it's just like it's this weird thing where I'm having next to zero trouble like going through in-game progression, and other people just are always spending their points on ammo and maybe buying perks and extra armor upgrades too quickly. Um, because that's one thing that I've understood about playing Black Ops 6 Zombies so far up to this point. Citadelle Des Morts hasn't come out yet, and I operate on the rule of thumb. This is my rule of thumb personally. I try to get a Pack-a-Punch 1 weapon blue by round 10, a Pack-a-Punch 2 weapon purple by round 15, and a Pack-a-Punch 3 weapon legendary by round 20. That's the rule of thumb that I always try to follow. It's a 5 round interval of getting each subsequent upgrade tier for both rarity and Pack-a-Punch. And while that is definitely not like a rigid rule to live by, it is something to aspire to in every game to kind of keep you on track as far as the zombies' HP is concerned, as it kind of keeps increasing as the rounds progress. You do need to increase both the rarity and the Pack-a-Punch level pretty quickly as the rounds go up. And I'm usually able to follow that close to a T every time. Sometimes I'm able to get a PAP 2 purple weapon by round 11, so that's definitely ahead of schedule. Sometimes I take a little bit longer to get a PAP 3 gun. Sometimes it takes me until round 22 or 23 to get legendary. It's not always like just a rigid thing that I always follow. Like I need to be at this level by this round every single game. I don't follow like a rigid rule set like that. Um, Everything in Zombies is modular. You can adjust on the fly. And even more so in Black Ops 6 now because of the SAM trials. You can get extra stuff. You can hit the box if you really want to because there's always a chance of getting a higher rarity weapon even on round 2. I've had that happen to me before. If you missed my everything you need to know about Black Ops 6 Zombies guides, both of those videos, in the gameplay one, there is a clip of me getting a gold AK, I think on round 2 or 3. So it does happen. And I don't know, man. It's just really weird. But like I mentioned earlier, I do enjoy seeing civil discussion. I do want to see if you guys share the same opinion that I do, or if you genuinely have trouble with the overall in-game progression of zombies. And because at the end of the day, I'm a zombies enjoyer. I love playing this game mode. I love the dev team making zombies in general. I love Terminus. I love Liberty Falls, and I am excited for Citadelle Des Morts as it is coming closer and closer to launching. Um, you know, it's Kevin Drew on the COD Pod. If you all have watched it, mentioned that Citadelle Des Morts is going to be a step up in difficulty compared to Terminus. And I already thought that Terminus was a pretty decent level of difficulty. Just not too easy, not too hard either. It's something that you can play if you just definitely do want a bit more of a challenge. And that is it was Terminus is a map where it is going to be harder to follow that like rule of thumb that I have established for myself, trying to get a PAP 2 purple gun by round 15. That is something that is a little bit more difficult. Um, and I enjoy that because it means that I do have to play a little bit more on my toes. It gives the zombies mode that much more of a challenge. But bar none, or all in all, I would say, it's again, I hate saying it this way because I know it sounds just kind of rude, it's stubborn, and a little bit tone deaf probably. But if players are having a bit of an issue when it comes to points and the overall currency economy, I think it is just a little bit more of a skill issue than anything. But I like I said at the beginning of the video, because I know I've been talking for such a long time here, I do think that Vulture Aid is going to be remedying a lot of this, because if Vulture Aid is going to be acting the same as it has been in Black Ops 2, and also the Black Ops 3 custom maps over the past like 5-ish years, 5 to 7 years, normal zombies now will be able to drop ammo, and I assume it's going to be like 1 to 2 bullets, every single drop that you pick up, similar to how it was in Black Ops 2. They'll also drop probably 5 extra points as well, because that was something that Vulture did in Black Ops 2. They could drop extra points. I would imagine that the green smoke ability is probably going to be an augment. If I had to guess, the green smoke is probably going to be an augment. Um, the wall hacks thing for like all where the mystery box is, where the perks are, where the arsenal machine is, I would imagine that could also be an augment. It could also just be built into the perk itself, but I would imagine at base the perk is going to give you or is going to give the zombies rather the ability to drop little bits of extra ammo and little bits of extra points. I would imagine that's going to be the base function of Vulture Aid. And just that alone, it's going to easily remedy, I think, a lot of the ammo and point complaints that a lot of players have, especially with how, it seems like a lot of players spend their points a little bit too quickly. So I I can also understand that, it goes back to that whole thing of like Treyarch is just making solutions to problems that they created. If players are having trouble with ammo and points, make a perk that drops some ammo and points. But Vulture Aid did that back in Black Ops 2, and points and ammo were never really an issue. It was just an extra little bonus that you can get, and it's putting Vulture Aid probably now, depending on who you ask, into a bit of a bad light, because now it's like, oh, well, Treyarch is just doing this to remedy the issues that they created. Vulture Aid always acted like this, and it's not changing the fact that I am super excited for Vulture Aid coming back, and I will definitely be making a video of my first attempt playing Citadelle Des Morts when it comes out. I know that when I do start playing that map, a lot of the zombies community is going to be head down trying to understand everything that there is about the map and figuring out the Easter egg as quickly as possible. And I will just be here kind of playing my first attempt casually, and once I do that, I'll start paying attention to the Easter egg hunt, if it still is happening at the time that I do that. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else more to say on the matter. This is just something that I kind of wanted to get off my chest. I am trying to be respectful about the whole thing. I do know that people have their own opinions about everything when it comes to zombies. I did say in a previous video that I think Black Ops 6 rivals 3 in terms of fun, replayability, and engagement. I love this game. I think it is super duper cool. And I'm in it for the long haul. I'm here for the rest of the year, even if life does start to get a little bit more busy for me in the coming months, probably. But definitely a bit of a different video compared to what I've been doing in the past few and whatever. You know, a couple of highlights, tutorials, guides, as well as just trying to make some fun videos here and there, sharing a lot of my progression with the mode. But I just wanted to have a quick sit down and chat about it because I did want to kind of get this off my chest and see if anybody is either sharing the experiences that I have or is, you know, in the camp of what seems like is a bit of a major issue with Black Ops 6 overall when it comes to point system and overall progression. But I'm going to go ahead and leave my rambling here, and I'll let the rest of the game play out so you guys can see what exactly happened. And just for me in particular, I mean, maybe it's just the way that I play, but I genuinely just don't have an issue with points, honestly. It's really weird. Um, I know that I did use a couple of gobblegums here and there, but throughout the whole game, I had that who's keeping score on me, and I never used it. So, you know, even like forcing double points on me is not something that I did, and to get ahead of the power curve, it's just whatever's in the game at my disposal. So, if you guys do enjoy this video, you know, be sure to drop a like, and again, let me know your thoughts and opinions about the whole thing. And you know, everybody's opinions are valid on everything. You know, if people like Black Ops 4, good for you, dude. You know, that's just a zombies game. That's not for me. If you're someone who is a stickler about the older zombies games, you know, I totally get it. I was there. I understand how much fun those are and how much more engaging those can be because of the overall difficulty. I am also just loving the way modern zombies is going. It's a different style of gameplay. It's a different change of pace, but it's still zombies, and I enjoy playing it. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoy, and I will leave you here with the rest of the video. Take care, everybody.
I hope these trials have in some way helped to relieve the tedium of your tawdry neighborhood.
Any of you hotshots want to beat my high school?
Max armor.
X-ray is available, Alpha Team.
Honestly, you're the only thing making me feel somewhat safe out here. See? Can't be hungry if you don't have a head. Problem solved.
Bonus points.
X-Forward heading to refuel.
Listen, fuckers. Efficiency's key when running a business.
Max
This is
armor.
me being
Double points.
Dad took a sharky enough to know you fuckers are about to be chum. Don't suppose Uncle Sam gives out medals for marksmanship. I didn't settle for a biggie.
Tear them to pieces.
You nerds see that? I'm just warming up, baby. Someone go grab a mop and a bucket. We got a gusher.
Max ammo.
Using stim.
Full power.
Need to hit the exit button. We're ready.
Max armor.
That's what you get for standing in my way. That's what you get for splattering your slop all over my good boots.
Double points.
marshmallows? Oh, too soon? This isn't permanent, yeah? I can't commit to having a pet right now.
Hey, we need to shut down that pickup office for now, team.
Bonus points. Full power.
Yeah, ventilating you shits never gets old. Feels like payday every time I see this thing. You see that, Peck? How about you get off your ass and get a red thing's on. Freaky bastard. Toast. Love to have this little number when I'm moving folks across international waters.
Max ammo.
Ignac! Or not. Beats the hell out of shooting lawn gnomes with an air rifle.
I will now test your ability to follow simple instructions. What are you waiting for?
Anything that wanders through those energy fields is going to wish you had.
You must be so proud of the minor success you are experiencing. I had expected you to be rocking back and forth in a fetal position by now. Excellent work. Please flood your brains with dopamine and serotonin. I would like to give you a round of applause, but I lack the necessary appendages.
Why haven't we been doing this the whole time?
Kaboom!
Just keep bailing water, Maya. You treat cadaver-ridden water.
Tear them to pieces.
Jackpot. Right in the door.
Max ammo.
Party's over. Time to go home and sleep this off.
Roger that. Bird headed your way.
Too many bogeys on the ground. Make some room.
Mum always told me to stop picking up scabs. Some things never change.
Kaboom!
What's right here down there?
Decoy live. First one to say troops on the bar gets a fucking knife in their leg.